when you do come to visit this website to take a look through how we frame this action research project, you're going to notice that we really do focus on an inquiry project that's of interest to you. Instead of saying it's to choose your own adventure, we do have structure around this, but we don't have a set curriculum. And so once you've defined your question, we have a number of examples that we're sharing too, then we're going to build some readings and some videos and some other kind of ways to gather resources so that you can help answer your question. So for instance, when somebody's interested in maybe shifting assessment to implementing student-led conferences, then we have a number of examples from schools. We have a number of potential short readings that might help you think about framing that rationale and then gathering some data and reflecting upon your practice. Notice here that the required products for this, I'm going to ask you to do some ongoing formative reflection where you're going to be blogging or journaling in some way that makes the most sense to you, to keep track of the process of what's happening and your kind of reflective thinking about it. You're going to see that some of the examples that we're sharing show that we've got a website. We usually use a Google site template, but again, you can modify that for your own needs. You're keeping track of all of the artifacts from each step of the action research process, and then you present somehow to an audience of interested colleagues, and that might be within your own school, within your own district. We might package up what's been working for you and go to one of the conferences in Vermont, or even a national conference, if you will. If you're interested in writing a blog post where we can share that through our Tarrant blog, that's another way to disseminate that as well. So I just wanted to show you a couple of examples. This is Katie Bryant, who is a middle level teacher over at Lamoille Union, and she was interested in the student-led conferences and how that increased engagement with personal learning plans for students. So her school hadn't done student-led conferences before, although they wanted to move toward that. And Katie's wondering was how that would affect the way students would think about curating and gathering all of their own information and speaking about their learning, especially if they had an audience outside the teachers, part of the community, and the parents coming in. So you'll see this Google site is what I was explaining, where she's keeping each information about each step of the action research process. And so she shares her rationale with us about where she's going with this work. We just embedded some Google Docs here so that as she was writing this rationale, I could be giving feedback, or any of the other professional development coordinators who are helping. So you can click through and see how she's gone ahead and implemented the plan and then collected some data and analyzed that. And then she ended up at the, at the Middle Grades Institute conference in January. She presented out the results of the student-led conference, gave a quick overview of what it was like for her, the question that she had, the feedback that she got from students, and then we've got a video recording of that along with the transcripts here for others to be able to take a look at and read. I'll just show you another quick one too, and that's on a link of a Google Doc that we've shared that Dan Trennis over at Hunt Middle School and Eric Shomes at Edmonton Middle School tapped into an innovation grant from Tarrant. We sponsored the purchase of some 3D printers and some other tools to help them. And their focus in this presentation, which they gave at, I think, Dynamic Landscapes, the focus of their question was trying to connect kids with this 3D printing to their geometric understanding. So what 3D kind of modeling was like, and how that helped them with their mathematical reasoning. And then they went ahead and shared this out at Dynamic Landscapes. They too created a Google site and were blogging as a way to show their movement forward. So I hope these examples help. One final one that I'll share is this, just this picture right here. Harwood Union Middle School decided, the teachers on their own a few years back, that they were going to experiment with Schoology, and they wanted to see what was going to work best for the teachers in terms of the change in their practice around Schoology. And so they did a group collaborative effort around this Schoology project, and got graduate credit as a group, as they together in a learning community kind of created this inquiry cycle around this implementation. Hope this helps. I'm looking forward to working with all of you and helping you to refine your question and start this work.